I did badly in the test my sophomore year at West because I was enrolled in this Chinese class. It was intermediate Chinese, and it was incredibly difficult. Like the material moved too fast, and I just couldn't keep up. So I would blame the course instructor as well as the teaching assistant and the registrar's office for trying to force that material in such a short amount of time. One of my good friends 2 weeks ago did badly on a neurobiology exam midterm. I think that is because, well, considering that the class average was a C, I think that is an issue with the instruction of the professor. If majority of the people in the class are not performing at a B or greater, clearly it's not the issue with the students, it's an issue with the professor that's teaching the course.
The time I didn't do well in an exam was probably bio. Bio. I didn't do well because I didn't really like the class. I didn't really like the lectures that were leading up to the exam. So when I studied, it was more like passive learning than active learning. Like I understood like the basic concepts, but I wasn't really like divulged to the material. I wasn't really like interacting with the material. Yeah, I mean it was my own study tactics, but the professor was kind of disconnected from the material. A time when my friend didn't do well on an exam, probably bio too. She didn't really like the class, so she didn't really study for it. But yeah.
A time I didn't do well on a test was I didn't do well on my environmental science. I would say because I didn't really grow up learning about these environmental issues, so I wasn't predisposed to it. Like that just wasn't something that we spoke about in my household. So bringing it to the classroom was like very new to me. Like this is when I was first exposed to it, so it was very hard to be tested on it. I guess I just blame my environment. Like I don't know, I would blame societal structures that made it so that I wasn't predisposed to the same topics that other kids were. A time my friend didn't do well on a test is my friend didn't do well on her bio exam. That was because they did not study enough.
The last test I took that I didn't do well on was an intro to programming test, and it was about 2 months ago. Who would I blame for doing poorly on my test? Would be myself. I don't think there's like any like external people who affected my like grade. I just think that like it was really hard, and then I didn't really have the ability to do it at that time. The time that my friend didn't do well on a test was a psych exam, and yeah, she was just really upset about it. She didn't do well on it. I wouldn't blame anyone for it. I know she at first she blamed herself, and then she just felt like the format of the test didn't really help her, and didn't really test the material in the right way. So I guess it was a mixture of both, of self and of the test.
I would say last semester on my econ final, because my professor doesn't know how to teach. He is not a teacher, I guess, because he didn't do anything. No offense to Gary. But. Today, my friend, we'll call her Boulier, went and she did not study and she failed. So she didn't do the reading, but then the professor gave her one answer though. So.
My first chemistry exam here at Wesleyan. Didn't really have a background in chemistry, so yeah, it wasn't what I was expecting. I think he was, the professor was very harsh. I think the way he made up the test wasn't fair, as I did not have any background in chemistry, and it was a principles of chemistry class. I think the transition could have been a smoother one if he had given us an easier test for the first time. Yeah, the last chemistry test, one of my friends didn't do well. The time one of my friends didn't do well was, I think, the semester first chemistry test, always chemistry. Yeah. I just think like it was well, like I felt like we did not go well. She did not go to most of the lectures. Didn't come to most of them. And she would ask for like lecture notes at the end, but then like wasn't really reviewing them. But yeah, I definitely think she could have done better if she had like come to the lectures, because like it was a relatively easy easy coursework for the first time. Yeah, but I think definitely the professor was really fair. She gave a relatively easy test with like we could do 7 out of 14 questions. So yeah.
The time I didn't do well on the test was my neurobiology exam, because my teacher tried to play me and make the questions OD hard, and it just wasn't fair.
What do you mean? I always do good on tests. That's just what I do.